Heavy load on a parked truck nearly crushed a man pushing it, but he sprinted away just in time and survived by luck. Construction machine being unloaded from a tow truck slipped out of control and smashed into the side of the pickup truck. Machine slid across wet cement as a worker threw objects at it in a failed attempt to stop it. Machine grabbed a worker's pants and tore them apart, while others rushed in to help him break free. Runaway machine sped through an unfinished building, forcing a terrified worker to escape as it kept moving. Truck blasted thick black smoke into a nearby car, making the other driver open his window and laugh at the smoky chaos. Tool flew out of control in a garage while a man repaired a car, leaving him frozen in shock. Man danced with a wheelbarrow inside a building, turning work into a strange performance. Worker activated a vehicle feature and stunned his co-worker with the unexpected result.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Man sat calmly on a machine while working on the ground, proving quick thinking can replace effort. Car engine dropped from above inside a mechanic shop, sending people running in fear. Wheelbarrows slipped loose from ropes high inside a building and crashed to the ground as 3 workers stared in disbelief. Man painted a rooftop while another worker held him steady from behind. Metal sheet meant to fill a pit fell straight into the hole as workers watched in shock. Pipe bending attempt collapsed an entire table and machine, spilling everything across the floor. Man welded metal while lying on his back, with both legs raised in the air. Loose tire rolled toward a man, who blocked it with his bald head and knocked it back into the truck. Construction workers played on swings in a nearby playground instead of staying on the job. Overloaded vehicle lifted straight up from the front and stood nearly vertical in the middle of the road. Workers stood inside an excavator carrier while operating it in rainy conditions on the street. Worker danced while cutting grass in an open field, mixing labor with entertainment. Delivery rider stopped to fix a ruined cake, tasted it, and continued the job with frosting on his fingers. Man struggled to free a construction vehicle stuck in soft ground and failed completely. Rock cutting attempt trapped the tool inside the machine, leaving the worker helpless. Cement dropped from above onto a worker's face, while another watched in horror. Construction worker used a toy vehicle on stairs instead of real equipment, creating a comic scene. Lock was placed on a cage but failed to secure it, shocking the man who trusted it. Glass shattered on a stairway, while several workers carried it, scattering fragments everywhere. Glass panel broke into pieces while being pushed through a doorway, forcing the man to walk away defeated. Huge pipe dropped from a truck and crushed a tire a man was holding, destroying it instantly. Large television slipped from its box during unloading and smashed on the ground in front of two workers. Worker unknowingly used another man's tools and caused confusion while building a wall. Cement poured from a vehicle onto a worker standing below, covering him completely. Boat sank in open water while two men were inside, plunging them in as others watched. Workers stared angrily at a slow machine, disappointed by its weak performance. Waiter dropped food onto the floor by accident, leaving both himself and the customer stunned. Rope trick meant to move cement snapped and broke the load instead, creating more damage. Overloaded wheelbarrow tipped over and dragged a worker down with it as others laughed. Man tried to carry a wooden box downstairs and collapsed, smashing it in seconds. cylinder leaked violently, spraying liquid everywhere while co-workers backed away.
That's a cop.
Luxury car crashed into a lifting machine's load and damaged its own front end. Worker attempted to cut a wooden log using only his hands and failed repeatedly. Man painted the floor around objects instead of moving them, creating a strange pattern. Wood was measured, cut, and checked again to see if it fit a mirror frame.
Hello, boss. Yeah.
Excavator ripped cement from a construction vehicle and destroyed its rear section completely.
Problem. Yes.
Strange objects suddenly appeared inside the welder's helmet at the construction site.
What kind of welder has a
Worker cleaned an imaginary windshield on a car that had no glass installed. Container slipped from the back of the truck, spilling liquid across the ground as one worker ran away in shock. Worker casually played a game inside the construction vehicle while his colleague labored below, even recording himself instead of working. Road worker continued his strange method of work as another man, and a distant driver watched in total confusion. Welder accidentally fused his own leg to the metal railing while attaching pipes in the shop, freezing in disbelief at his mistake. Construction worker kept placing bricks as sections unexpectedly pushed outward from the wall inside the building. Two men hoisted their coworker onto a pipe inside the building, leaving him struggling to free himself until luck finally saved him.
Ja. Okay. Hey, doe een paal eronder.
Leaking pipe flooded the interior while a worker desperately tried and failed to control the water. Blue spray was blasted directly onto a coworker's face, leaving him stunned at the unexpected hit. Huge metal pipe slid onto the road, shocking a nearby driver who witnessed the dangerous moment.
у нас суперсварщик мира.
Worker accidentally welded his own ladder to a pipe inside the building and stood there, realizing his error.
Ты так и осталось. Что, говорит, делать? Он говорит, так и оставь.
Construction worker trapped himself by the neck after welding pipes too closely together. Worker stepped onto a roof tile he had just placed, sending it crashing down as he stared in disbelief.
Hello, Mr. George.
Excavator's front carrier suddenly collapsed into the road, leaving workers frozen in shock.
No, too much money. It's no good operator.
Man attempted to gather welding ashes with his hands, but completely failed in the awkward effort.
Zet niks in. Je moet dichterbij, dichterbij.
Worker dangerously cut wood while standing on the structure itself, showing reckless judgment. Man dangled by a rope from the first floor, while another worker below struggled to control the line.
What?
Man smashed a cement plank with a hammer, only for it to split into 3 unexpected pieces. Worker danced inside freshly mixed cement at the construction site, turning labor into chaos. Worker bizarrely used a mug to carry water from the street into a dustbin. Construction worker stood on a machine while oddly attaching leaves back onto a tree branch. 3 construction workers broke into dance inside the building, enjoying their work with unexpected energy. Man tied a toy car behind a garbage truck and dragged it along, leaving a coworker staring in disbelief. Man faced the camera and formed a heart shape while recording himself, creating a unique and playful moment. Illusion made it seem like a man was doing push-ups, but he was simply lying across a plank from the other side. Machine spun out of control in the field, leaving the operator visibly shaken. Worker climbed inside a construction machine to inspect a fault, but ended up spinning when it suddenly activated, while another laughed at the chaos. Man suddenly threw snow at his coworker outside the house, catching him completely off guard. Worker handled an oversized screwdriver inside the building, clearly overwhelmed by the tool. Car rolled straight into wet cement on the road, leaving workers shocked at the costly mistake. Machine placed on a wooden table suddenly flew off while a man watched in disappointment. Man cutting through a wall with a machine accidentally sliced through both sides and shattered the glass. Construction worker poured an entire bag of cement over himself in front of his stunned friends. Worker became stuck in thick mud as another watched helplessly. Man attempted to break a wooden fence, but fell straight into the water after misjudging his jump. Worker happily drove a vehicle around inside the building, clearly enjoying his unusual routine. Man jumped out of a box inside the factory and scared two coworkers, then laughed as they walked away shaken. Workers turned tools into musical instruments, drumming and strumming a plank while dancing together on site. Two workers drove vehicles around inside the building, treating the workspace like a playground. Man jumped onto an air-filled surface, launching another coworker into the air unexpectedly. Three workers used shovels to fill an excavator carrier parked right in front of them, ignoring the obvious, easier method. Truck flipped on the road, spilled its cargo, rolled uncontrollably, destroyed a car, and finally crashed into a field as stunned workers watched the disaster unfold.
Whoa, whoa. Não tombou de novo dele.
Crane operating over water collapsed completely and plunged beneath the surface as workers looked on in shock. Man reached into a wheelbarrow thinking it held a bag, only to be splashed with water thrown by his coworkers. Worker pretended to be in a war zone, using construction tools as imaginary weapons while enjoying himself.
Der Chef kommt!
Hoisting the cement bag by hand while stunned colleagues watched his questionable judgment unfold. Massive tower demolition spiraled into disaster when the falling structure slammed into a nearby house, triggering panic among onlookers. Demolition blast brought the tower crashing down in a thunderous collapse as workers stood frozen, witnessing total destruction. Industrial oil suddenly gushed out across the facility floor, creating a hazardous and chaotic situation. Improvised attempt to shield a house with a pickup truck failed miserably when the falling tree crushed the roof despite desperate maneuvering.
Oh my God.
Glass door installation ended in disaster when it slipped from the worker's grip and shattered across the floor. Bridge demolition took a dramatic turn as the structure plunged into the water under the force of heavy machinery, leaving workers stunned by the sheer scale of collapse. Unexpected underground explosion erupted during excavation work, sending debris flying and forcing bystanders to flee in fear. Small construction vehicle overturned abruptly while loading materials onto a pickup, leaving its operator in disbelief. Scorching material spilled from industrial machinery onto the building floor, causing the surface to glow with intense heat. Heavy construction vehicle became trapped in deep mud until a second machine intervened successfully, drawing relieved reactions from the crew. Collision between a truck and a container lifter sent equipment crashing to the ground in a chaotic scene that left workers speechless. Towing operation in sandy terrain turned destructive when the stuck truck suffered severe front-end damage during the forceful pull. Moving trucks suffered a sudden tire burst on the road, creating a dangerously unstable moment. Escalator transport snagged overhead wires on a city street, tearing them down while a nearby biker reacted in shock. Construction site explosions shattered a vehicle's windshield, sending shockwaves through the stunned crew.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Box detonation at the worksite startled construction workers, who watched the blast unfold in disbelief. Construction trucks slipped off elevated ground at the site and ended up embedded in the soil before stunned workers.